Hello and welcome to Sangoma Society. UMakhosi Nomabutho Emsamo. I am Honey Tell a Story on all social media networks and Hani Wagamapapa Epaseni. And this is where we aim to demystify all matters pertaining African spirituality and the ancestral. If this is your first time watching this channel, please subscribe, click the button, join the community, and feel free to engage in the comment section. I'm always answering any questions that you might have. Over the past few weeks, I've been talking about, how to know when you should consult, about what happens to certain healers when you make appointments with them. And today, I really want to talk about what happens or best practice as a client in any spiritual engagement or consultation that you may make, be it with myself or with any other healer. It happens so easily that we surrender our agency when we interact with healers, be it pastors, be it abathandazeli, izangoma, whatever it may be. The dynamic for cult-like engagement is so easily laid, has such easy foundations laid for it in the mystery that covers spirituality, and that if somebody can make it make sense for you and bring a sense of understanding to you, it becomes so easy for you, for the patient, to simply surrender their agency and not engage and not question. And it's really about what happens when you go in to consult with any healer, any spiritual healer with whom you would engage in a consultation and mediation process. I think that there are certain things one needs to remember. First and foremost, within that space, yes, there will always be rules of any spiritual house that you enter. There will always be codes of conduct, and you will always be expected to adhere to those rules and codes of conduct. But please be conscious and cognizant of what those rules require of you. Are those rules asking you to surrender your agency? Are they asking you to surrender a certain amount of control? Are you being told that you can't question? Are you being told that you don't have the right to speak? Are you being told that, you need to keep quiet while this is happening? Is something happening in this exchange that is beyond the scope of your understanding? Are you in a place where you don't understand why something is happening and you feel unable to ask? Is that happening? And why is that happening? Because you should be at any moment able to ask. It cannot just be that this is divine and your asking is wasting time or not right now. Do you know? Because in any moment you should be able to say, okay, hold up, what are we doing? Now, I understand that sometimes when you're in a place of darkness and you are feeling yourself enter enlightenment, or what feels like enlightenment, or in the presence of what feels like wisdom, that you feel that to start to question in a moment would actually interrupt the process. And I know that there's a lot of healers who say, hey, this thing of constantly asking, it's a time waster. Now, there's, when I say question, I'm not saying that, because you have been wasting your time, not actually showing up for yourself and doing what needs to be done. And now you actually need assistance and help. And then when you're getting that assistance and help, that you be, the spanner in the wheel of progress, and you now bring your big English into situations that have already been explained to you. Now, if you've already been given that explanation, you should know why, what is happening at which moment. It should all make a certain amount of sense. But there are those amongst you who are going to take this Sangoma saying that you should remember your agency as an excuse to now disrespect and disrupt the process of work flow when healers are engaging with you or your family regarding your specific situation. I'm not saying be that person, guys. Please don't take this as a ticket now to take your rubbish tendencies into people's practices. No. I'm saying that when things are being done in the process of consulting, in the process of ceremony, there should be a certain amount of understanding and resonance with your spirit, with your soul, with yourself, with your truth, that you know why you're doing what you're doing. The answer should never be because UMakhosi Ute. Do you know? Like UMakhosi Ute because kuvele okuthize kwamele kwenziwe okunje ngenxa yalokhu. And this will be happening because your ancestors have said this and that and so on and so forth. And for that reason, we believe, should we do this and that in order to fix for your ancestors what they are requesting, then we should be good. You should be able to see a change in your life thereafter. But you get yourself in these situations where I think people have been to healers and they've been told that they're not able to question. They've been told that, Mausa Esangomeni, or when you come to a place, a spiritual place, you surrender and you leave yourself and your English and everything at the door. And when you come in here, you have to listen to what I say because I am the authority. And then I say all these things, and because I'm able to weave this narrative, now it's that. But if somebody starts to question and poke holes in the theories, then it doesn't hold. Then you're left behind going, I mean, UMakhosi Ute. Do you know? It's like, no, guys, no, it's not that. Please go into your healing, understanding your role in it. When you go in to consult, when somebody tells you something, there will be a resonance. Yours is to be honest with yourself, because a lot of you are not. A lot of you will go into a consultation knowing exactly what it is that's bothering you truly, right? Or knowing that there is this thing that's happening in your life, but now you've learned to live with it. And now when this comes up in your consultation, because you came with this agenda, now that comes up, now you're like, oh God, you're totally missing the mark. No. Be aware, be present, and listen, hear, question, and then you're able to put the pieces together that actually what you came about, this is just a symptom of that which is being brought up now in this consultation. Because I've seen people go through the process of consultation and say, no, that wasn't actually what I'm here for, and you know, and then they want to come back like 6 months later and say, you know, I was just not ready to hear what you were saying. But that's the reason why I did those two previous videos, because you should actually only step in to a space of consulting, of seeking help, when you know that you're ready to hear the truth. Because some of you are not looking for the truth, you're looking for your version of the story that's going to suit you. And when somebody can give you that version, that, oh my God, somebody did something absolutely horrible to you and you had no complicity in it, and you know, that person's just a bad person and you're just a victim, and now we've got to do bad things to that person, and then you feel like, yes, vindication. That's not it, fam. Be honest with yourself. You know, go in to this understanding that you are complicit in every aspect of your life, even the aspects that involve your ancestors. You are absolutely complicit. You have agency, you are present. You may not understand it, and if you don't understand it, you're allowed to ask. And if you're not allowed to ask, if you're not getting clarity, then what are you actually there for? What are you doing? You know, what are you doing? Don't play with things that you don't understand. Leave it alone. Walk away. Say maybe no, I actually don't know what's going on, and until I do, you know, I maybe shouldn't do this. Sometimes you just have to admit that to yourself. Um, Sometimes, especially you people abafana nathi abangohlanya, you who know yourselves that you are actually supposed to be healers. So that first part would have been for a lay person to understand their agency in a situation. Now I want to speak to people who know that they have gifts of healing and who go and seek guidance and consultation from other healers. And they know that there's things that they're supposed to do. They know that there's paths that they need to walk. And then they walk into these spaces where they're supposed to get guidance, and they actually think that they can game the system because they're a certain kind of educated, they're a certain kind of special individual. I want to say to those people, stop it. You're wasting everybody's time. Everything I said to anybody else who may be a layperson about understanding their agency and their complicity in a situation, you maybe don't understand your agency and complicity as much as you think. And you tend to walk into spaces thinking that there's things that you know that the healer doesn't know, that there's a strength that you have that the healer doesn't have. And then you do bring your big English and you do bring all of your cleverness, and you actually waste your own time, because what you don't do is be honest with yourself, be present with yourself, and to say that this is happening, it's happening to you. It's not happening to the person interpreting for you. It's not happening to the people around you. It's happening to you, to your life. And it's affecting you. And it's affecting you more than it can affect anybody else. And you really need to be present for that and to be honest with yourself. Be honest with yourself and with your ancestors, because often what is happening with you is not what might be happening for the layperson. The layperson would finally find some level of understanding and surrender to that. But I find that a lot of people who have gifts of healing, when consulting, you are so consumed with your perception and misunderstanding of your gift that you miss the message and you're just trying to get to a place where the healer will tell you something that is not the thing that you fear most, which is that you have this great responsibility, and then the big English, and then time is wasted. You know yourselves. Please stop wasting people's time. Get serious about your life. Be present about your healing in every engagement where spirituality is concerned. Understand that you have agency. Yes, the divine, the ancestral can be beyond the realm of ordinary human understanding, but to be sold on mystery and magic, and that magic cannot be understood, is to be conned by Yetzi. Don't get yourself conned. Stay present. Stay cognizant of the reality that you will always be responsible for you. The healer will always be the facilitator of the process of which you would need assistance with. But you would always know innately somewhere inside you the truth is there, and it should resonate at all times. You should not feel lost. You can feel alone, but you shouldn't feel lost. I don't know if you follow me. I hope that you do. I really hope that you do, because your healing is in your hands. It's your work. Nobody's ever going to be able to do that for you. Always know that. If you have any questions about today's topic pertaining understanding consultations, understanding the process of healing, please pop them in the comment section down below. If you would like to book a consultation, the link is in the description box below. And if this is your first time on the channel watching Sangoma Society, please subscribe, join this community. We're just here to learn and grow together on this path to our healing and demystifying all things pertaining African spirituality and the ancestors. Mina UMakhosi Nomabutho emsamo. I am Honey Tell a Story on all social media networks. I look forward to engaging with you in the coming weeks. Makhosi.